Alright, we'll be taking this guy out next. I like the way this guy looks. I love that alloy wheel. A lot of chrome up front. Floorboards. 114. Oh man. This is a bike I would definitely like to get lost with for an hour or two. Look at that rear wheel. That is a really sharp looking bike. Alright guys, I'm going to take this Fat Boy out. It's got this satin finish not only on the paint but also on the chrome around the headlight, on the exhaust, on the transmission case, and on the wheels. It really looks nice. I don't know how it would hold up. I've heard some horror stories about the satin finish already on paint, but yeah, just something to be aware of. The handlebars here, kind of more traditional than some of the straight bars, nearly straight bars on the Fat Bob 114 that I just rode. This one has floorboards in a nice position, not too scrunched up. So this Fat Boy's got the big fat tire. Pretty fat tire up front too. See, it's got 743 miles on it, so this is not got too much use. I think I'm going to put this in RPM mode. I like that nice big analog speedometer. I like the dual caps. I guess one of them's a dummy cap. I like the way this bike looks. It's definitely different from the traditional Harley with the square headlight, but it just looks nice. It does have the 114 high flow air intake. So if you haven't watched my channel before, my name's Dave. I've been riding Harleys for about 3 years, a little over 3 years. I've got about 30,000 miles of riding experience, and I have ridden a lot on Sportster, and also right now I have a Dyna Lowrider 2014. So this is my 4th test ride today. All the bikes I've ridden so far have the Softail, the new Softail frame. And you get into some touring bikes later, but these are the kind of bikes I like. So this is an escorted ride. I'll be kind of limited on what I'm going to be able to do. Yeah, this thing's got, you know, 114. It's going to move your butt when you turn that throttle. Nice and smooth transmission. Standard on all these Softails. I like the way, I just like when you look down, you know, what you see. I like the way it looks. It's pretty nice. It's not as classy as the Softail Deluxe, but it has a nice modern look to it. You can feel the Milwaukee 8. You know, it's definitely got some vibe. Would really be nice to take this into some twists and turns and see how that rear wheel feels. Probably not going to get that opportunity, but I'll do my best to give you my impressions of the bike. Some guys coming the other way. Oh, I could spend some time riding this baby. Oh yeah. Man, this is just a nice feeling bike. I'm kind of curious how this fat tire handles in very low speed, like, you know, moving around in a parking lot or a gas station doing a U-turn or something. I would need to spend a little time with it to really get a feel for it. But just as far as riding in general, like, nothing's jumping out at me right now that's massively different from the other Softails that I rode so far this morning. It's super comfortable with the floorboards. I know I've got a big fat rear tire on here, but it's not obvious in the kind of riding we've done so far, which is just some country riding here, you know, 50 miles an hour and under, which I suppose is a good thing, right? I mean, you don't want it to inhibit your ride. You know, as a class, the new Softail bikes, which came out in 2018, stiffer frame, Milwaukee 8 engine, just really well designed bikes. And so the different flavors of the Softails in the model line, you know, you're going to get some different riding positions, definitely different appearances. So what else can I tell you about this bike? Well, geez, it's just so darn good looking. I really do like how it looks. Single disc up front. Clutch cable as opposed to hydraulic. I really like the feel of the transmissions. They really shift firmly. You still have that sound, that tactile feedback, but they feel nice and solid. Alright, I'm just kind of doing the friction zone thing. I haven't put my feet on the ground or anything. Bike's nice and stable. It's got some giddy up. I think the Fat Boy 114 is, I'm guessing, maybe a little lighter. It seemed to have just a little more zip than this guy, but I mean, barely noticeable difference. The seat feels pretty good, you know. It's you can pull forward a little bit, you can push back against the backstop, just change up your riding position a little bit. You know, feels kind of on par with the other bikes. I'm not sure how many hours you could get out of it. My goodness, yes, you can really stomp on this sucker and it will respond. Oh, I would so love to wind this puppy out today. Yeah, I'm doing 2,500 RPM, between 55 and 60, 5th gear. You just touch that throttle, man, boom, it just goes. I mean, alright, 70 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour, low 200, 2200 RPM. You just want to come down a gear from 6th to 5th. Nice bike, guys, I gotta tell you. I wouldn't have thought I would care much for the Fat Boy, but I would definitely prefer this over the Fat Bob. I still like the looks of the Softail Deluxe the most, and now that it has the Milwaukee 8, it's definitely a more sporty bike than the old Softail with the twin cams. But if I had to drop down to a second choice, I would give this guy a look. So this isn't a professional review. I'm not going over specs or anything like that. Just giving you my honest, you know, thoughts as they come to me. Just from a regular old rider. There's tons of reviews out there by people who do this for a living, who write for magazines and websites and all that, but just me, regular old Harley rider. I really like this bike. It looks like it has the bigger gas tank, which is a plus for me. This looks to be on par like a 5-gallon. No complaints at all about this bike. Yeah, you know, it feels stable. You know, just like all the other Softails, despite the fat rear tire, it doesn't give me nothing jumps out at me as being different in that respect. So nothing concerning me about that fat back wheel. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It would have been nice if I could have taken it out myself, but that's the way these escorted demo rides go. Thanks for watching.